Confirm that the correct audio is going.
Are you going live for everybody? Or do a private one?
It's private right now.
That way nobody gets, if they click it and then nothing's happening, then they don't come back, Ugh, that made my nipples hard. Making noise, doing words, saying things, testing the audio. Oh wow, Keep It Carlson just went live too.
What's up?
Keep It Carlson just went live.
Live. What are they doing?
On YouTube.
Oh.
I don't know. I think they're doing a prospect episode with the guy from Fantasy Hockey Life. Full PJs ready to go. I'll be able to drop this in announcements when we get there.
Okay. As a private stream, it's up.
You're getting audio and everything.
Okay. As a private stream, it's up.
You're getting audio and everything.
Okay, yeah, we're getting both of our audios through YouTube.
Excellent.
So I'm going to end stream. Actually, can I just take this and make it public? Okay. As a
Possibly.
I think I can. Edit. Private stream. Visibility.
You're getting audio and everything. Oh Jesus.
Fucking public. Done. Okay, yeah, we're getting both of our audios through YouTube. Save.
Excellent.
So I'm going to end stream. Actually, okay, so
nothing yet.
Share. Copy link. Close. Okay, man, I'm putting the. It's live on YouTube.
Oh, shit, this looks fucking good, man. Good looks. Let's see what the music.
Okay.
Stereo.
What do
I don't
we
know
got
if our
here?
audio's
We
in
got
there yet.
24 minutes. Oh, you know what? Enhance. Are you enhanced?
Oh my god. Yeah, look at that. We're live. I
Yeah,
see
dude.
it. And the audio's there. This is beautiful.
Both mics should be good. The overlay looks fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
We gotta make sure, for our sanity's sake, don't watch the YouTube or you'll go crazy trying
Yeah.
to talk 10 seconds
Yeah.
ahead of time.
I'm gonna keep the chat open just in case. But yeah, I feel you. Let me
Let's
see that second scene. Check the second scene.
hold
The
on.
one with the full screen, yeah?
Hold your balls for a second.
That's what I've been doing this whole time. Oh shit, we're up to 113 subscribers. Fuck yeah. What a beautiful community. Well, it just shows the YouTube channel. You should have the full scene. So if you ended stream and then redid a stream, would everything be the same from OBS? Because that's what I think we should do, so it alerts people, and we can delete this one.
Hold on.
Yeah, you should have the grid.
Yeah.
How's balls down here, man?
Excuse me.
Heard.
Get that out of the way. Are you got your local record going?
Not yet, sir. Good call.
I'm recording now.
You're recording already.
Just so we don't forget
Enhance. Yeah.
Enhance.
I am letting her go. Just forgetting.
All right. Well, what window do we want to have here?
Okay, so go to my leagues. Go to this league. I know exactly the one we're going for.
Oh, that pops into a different window. That's why.
You pop into a different window.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'll just have to switch.
He's got enough leagues. What are you, an addict or something?
Cool. Yeah, this is a fun window. I'll see if
Oh, I'm like 15 seconds behind you. That's why I'm watching on the old YouTube.
Yeah, don't watch the YouTube. You'll go crazy. That's
Well, I want to.
That's
Yeah,
the past.
It's essentially like share screen, so that's what I'm going for. All right, so are you in the draft room?
Now we'll go. I got the draft room open here. I'm just gonna switch this other scene to have. That's that one. Switch that to be the grid window.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Draft results. Shit, yeah, dog. All right.
It's weird. I feel like I'm not watching it in real time because I'm not. It's like 20 seconds behind. Watch this. Put my hands up. All right. 2.
Okay. Keep your eyes peeled. Oh, we can do this.
Yeah, that's exactly the window it should be. I like that. Perfect.
I'm just gonna see if I can get it bigger.
That is the title of autobiography.
Is that as big as it goes?
You've been reading my journal.
All right. Well, let's check. That out.
Feel good about my gain. Are you recording on Zoom yet?
Good call. Backup Zoom recording.
Just in case, right? Because
Yeah.
we suck.
Okay. Fun.
Yeah, man. Looks tight. Ooh, look at that. It just got bigger. Oh, yeah.
What?
It did. It just expanded. The draft results. So
Oh,
you're
yeah, I
like 25
resized it.
seconds behind whatever it is. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Living in the past, man. Living
Always.
in the past.
I'm
Get it?
digging the whatchamacallit, the live chat. We'll see what's going on. Oh yeah. Good call, Grizz. Turn off that Fantrax horn.
Oh, yeah. Mute.
Good call.
Blast that across the YouTube. Across the YouTube, I said. I wonder how quickly this this Fantrax window updates.
All right, so this one is the points draft, yeah?
Points. Points.
All right. I'm gonna get that scoring ready.
Lead points. It looked pretty good. Was it the same, all the same, everything as all the mocks?
I think so. I think we modeled the mocks after my home league, so it's probably pretty close. Let's go. League rule summary.
What do we got here? Oh.
Should we re-enhance?
Nah, keep it going. Just keep it going.
Keep it going. Heard.
Always press record.
Yeah.
Always press record. Oh, what do we got here? 15 minutes. You know what I'm going to do real quick? Go grab.
What are you gonna do?
Grab 3 more beers.
Heard.
Hold on.
I'm ready. I got the last little bit of some Jameson. Good to go. Yep. Hit my nipples hard. Oh, the White Shores shirt too.
All
Repping
right,
community.
10th
That's what I like to
overall.
see.
Hey?
So you're repping White Shores. Love to
Yeah.
see it. All right, I'm gonna bring us in. Let's do this thing, eh?
Let's do it.
Ready to
Let's
go?
do it.
Let's do it. Let's
Let's do
go.
it, bruh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 5-Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. We are your hosts today, TJ and Raj.
Hey there.
Today we got a mock draft episode. It's going to be a first of its kind. We are 5-Hole Fantasy Hockey. You can find us on Twitter at FHF Hockey. You can join the Fantasy Hockey Discord. You can get on mock drafts like this every week. And if you want to get on real leagues, we got listener leagues going on attached to our Patreon at $2 a month. We're taking any money we would have made, donating it to Mental Health America. So if you want to play in a league with us, support a good cause at the same time, but more importantly, try and shut us up and beat us, do that. Hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on Discord, whatever you want to do. So like I said, we got a mock draft episode for you guys, and it is going to be the first of its kind because Raj and I have 10-minute timers that we're not going to use. We're not going to use all 10 minutes, but everybody else is on auto. And we do have real live bodies in here. It's not just a 3-person mock draft or something like that. You know, I know a lot of the outlets like to do that, but we're not. Okay. We're filling it with real fucking people that know what they're talking about. And we have this 10-minute timer so that we can talk strategy. And we're not going to try and jam it into a 1-minute pick timer or things like that and try and like juggle picks that are happening along the way. 10 minutes is ample time to talk strategy, to talk the picks that have happened already, to talk which direction we're thinking of going, what positions we're thinking about targeting. Today's a points league. We got a categories league coming up tomorrow. So you're going to have 2 mock draft episodes in your feed coming up pretty quick. Let's go over the scoring and the rosters. How are you feeling, Raj, by the way? How are you?
Pretty good, man.
I took over the whole bit of that first bit. So
That's all right.
what's up with you?
Looking at about 16 different windows right now. So I'm good. I feel at home when
live on YouTube too. So we're doing this
exactly.
one right there on YouTube. We got this pretty interface going on, overlay, all the colors. Man, whipped that up quick, didn't we?
It's beautiful.
You could tell. But dude, yeah, it looks great. You guys can find us on YouTube. If you want to watch this mock draft as it's going along, feel free. We're going to try and keep this mock draft under an hour or roundabouts there. We like to kind of hit the mark at an hour with our episodes. So we're going to be tight, but again, first of its kind in the fantasy hockey sphere. So it's going to be on us, Raj. What do you think? Can we handle it? I think those middle rounds will go quick.
I can handle it.
Yeah, we'll handle it.
I'm taking Quinn Hughes every round.
I know. You got Joel first up. Isn't that right? So we're going to get no. So Joel's up first tomorrow.
Okay.
So we're going to have, Elias Pettersson and the Vancouver bias playing against us. But right now it's Timmy up first. So what we did, because everybody else's auto draft, Raj and I took the 3 position and the 10 position so that while we're talking shop, everybody else can juggle their auto cues. So it's not just like Fantrax projections or Fantrax ADP that's pumping out here. It's people with their own cues doing shit like that. Grizz got up at 4 a.m. He's like in Switzerland or some shit. So allons-y, buddy. I'm really happy about that. Thank you for waking up and bugging your girlfriend. I'm sure she's stoked. All right, let's do the scoring. Let's do the rosters here. We are doing 2 center, 2 left wing, 2 right wing, 4 defensemen, 2 skaters, 2 goalies, 2 bench. Our scoring: goals 3 points, assists 2 points, blocks and hits are 0.1, shots on goal are 0.15. You get an extra point for a shorthanded point and another point on top for a shorthanded goal. Same thing for, it's just 1 extra point for a power play point because a regular goal is 3 and a regular assist is 2. For goalies, goal against is -1, saves are 0.2, so 5 saves to negate a goal against. Pretty goalie friendly league here. Shutouts are an extra 2 and wins are 4. So we're looking at, where are our projections here, Raj? What do you see in the projections? You are picking at number 10. I'm picking at number 3. What are you thinking from the top, and what kind of strategy are you bringing into this draft?
Well, In terms of who do I see at the top of the draft, since I'm number 10, I don't really have to worry about that. But I think any type of draft, pretty much any format whatsoever, you have to take McDavid number 1. I think you'd be silly not to. There are other options, but I think you just have to go with him. And I'm always a big fan of Draisaitl second. Actually, I love the dual eligible thing, and he's pretty solid. And McKinnon Matthews, I think those are the big 4 this year, for sure. Pretty much any kind of draft, maybe Kucherov up there. In terms of my own strategy for this draft, I hate sticking hard to a strategy. I think that is my strategy usually, is just to be flexible. But I'm not going to say 0G, but I'm going to definitely say I'm fading goalies. I generally fade goalies really hard, which I'll probably continue to do.
I'm with you. I'm half 0G. Yeah. I fade goalies, but I still want at least one before round 10. And I think with more wide acceptance of 0G, goalies are slowly going to fall later. At least that's my hope. And, maybe I'll get somebody good at round 10. But just like you, man, adaptability is one of the biggest parts of the draft. You can't really go into it with rankings. You can't, being a ranking slave is hard. You can't do it. You can't follow fan tracks that we're using. You can't follow theirs. You have to be able to fill positional need, adapt, value over replacement, take all these things into account. You don't win your league on draft day. That's one of the biggest takeaways, I think, that, just kind of relaxes me here. I want to build a good core, but I'm going to win this league on streaming, on hopefully getting away from injuries, because everybody is up against the same enemy, and it's injuries. So everybody has the same chance of having one of their best players injured at this point. Yeah, some of them are more injury prone than others, but if you want a luck based stat, it's injuries. I know, we were just talking about game winning goals and shutouts and things like that being luck based stats, and I just think it's injuries. Anybody can get hurt and kind of derail.
About that though, the one thing I would say, I'm things like game winning goals being a luck based thing. Certain people get out on the ice with more chance to get game winning goals.
All right, so maybe
it does favor good players, for sure.
Maybe not luck based, but hard to draft for. Let's say impossible to draft for, plus minus, game winning goals, hat tricks, shutouts, things like that. If a category can go to a 0-0 tie, it feels like a luck based stat, or
I wouldn't put any of those
randomness.
I wouldn't put any of those fun stats into a categories league when there's just even shorthanded points. I think Marchand won in the last full season. He had 6 shorthanded points all season. So to make that a category is just silly, right?
And we're not here to catch shame anybody. If you're using plus minus, that's fine. It's not for me. I will try and talk you out of it. It's not for me. I think it's fine. If people want to do it, that's what the guys were talking about in the Discord. They just wanted, it's a little more fun. So whatever's fun for you. But everybody that I've talked to, or at least 90% of the people that I've talked to regarding plus minus, are in talks with their commissioner to remove plus minus from their league. You know what I mean? So if everybody hates it, why are we still using it? But if you use it, if you like it, good for you. I'm not going to talk you down. I'm just going to say I don't agree. I'm really good at not agreeing with people. So
I think
we are 5 minutes away. 5 minutes away till that brutal fan tracks horn.
4:01.
4 minutes?
Yeah, here we go. 4 minutes.
I got to reconnect then.
Yeah, you better reconnect.
Yeah. Okay. 4:01. You're right. Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that. One thing I would definitely say is that.
Heard.
Excuse me. That's the ultimate thing.
That's what you're gonna say. Yeah.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
Roger's number one takeaway about drafts.
When it comes to things like plus minus, like you said, is if that's what your league likes, then do that. If you guys like to do it, and half of the fun is just talking shit about different things that you don't like, right? None of it's super serious. There's no rules. Whatever makes it fun for your crew, right? That's the most important thing to keep in mind with all this. Any type of fantasy league is if it starts getting not fun, then you're kind of missing the whole point.
Yep. And that's, I think, another important piece is everybody wants to draft a team that's going to win, but it's important to draft a team that you like too. So you take those random gut swings, that you have a feeling about a guy, go for it. You know, I'm not gambling in the first round. I'm not gambling in the top 5. Like, I like to get my tried and true guys, but if a guy's a 5th round pick and I'm reaching for him in the 4th just because I like him and I'm going to have more fun throughout the year, I might take that swing. And there are certain, different gambles that I'll take throughout because I want to have fun. I want to like my team. There are guys that I just straight up won't draft, and I'm sure they'll come up, throughout the draft here. But yeah, man. So I'm at number 3. I love this draft position because, okay, McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon. Those are your top 3 guys. And, McDavid's going to go number 1, but the only way you get McDavid number 1 is if you draft number 1. So you have to wait 24 picks on the way to and from. Number 3, I get, a player that's kind of in that tier, and I have the shortest wait. And you at number 10, I mean, you got guys like Pasternak, Marchand, Tkachuk, Barkov, Panarin. We are in a points league. I'm curious what you think about Tkachuk here.
That's not a risk I would take in this league. Yeah, I wouldn't take Tkachuk at 10 in this league. In a Cats league, absolutely. Tomorrow's draft, definitely. I'd take him higher than that. I'm not ranking guys in the same order as what Fantrax has here. I like Pasternak higher than 9 for sure. I like him better than Marchand. I like him better than Rantanen, I think. Still pretending goalies don't exist.
We got 1 minute left. Nate brings up a really great point in the chat here on YouTube. Dual eligibility is something to target. I'm on the first page of the projections here. I don't see a single dual eligible player. There he is, Andrei Svechnikov, the highest ranked dual eligible at left wing, right wing. A lot of platforms are cracking down on dual eligibility. Like, I know Fantrax removed a lot, Yahoo removed a lot, ESPN removed a lot. They're and I think they will come back because there is going to be, like, Kotkaniemi today. They announced he's going to start at left wing. He's a center. I assume he'll get left wing at some point. So I do think they're going to come back. But right now you have to draft for bare bones position.
Both platforms have the rule that they will add positions throughout the year, but they don't usually like to take them away mid-season. Here we go. 7 seconds.
7 seconds, ready to go. I'm assuming McDavid and Draisaitl go 1 and 2. If not, I wind up with Draisaitl at number 3. Oh, yeah, Draisaitl. He's the highest ranked dual eligible.
Of course.
I should have seen that. Okay, so McDavid, and McKinnon go. That leaves me at pick number 3 with Leon Draisaitl, who is a pretty comfortable pick. Ranked number 2, center left wing. Man, I'm okay with that.
I'm
okay with that.
Definitely happy. Matthews, Pasternak, Rantanen. Oh, Pasternak went way ahead of schedule. So
we're looking at so Draisaitl I took at number 3. These early picks are easy. These are the ones you don't really have to think about. Just draft for ceilings. Everybody that's ranked inside the top round is pretty safe. So it went Kucherov number 4, Matthews number 5, Pasta, Rantanen, Marchand, and Panarin. Vasilevsky's there for you at number 1, the ranked player here.
Yes.
And you talk a lot about 0G, but at number 10, where's the threshold for you to start thinking about a goalie? 10 starts to look like value.
I'm just waiting to press draft on Vaz right now. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I know I just literally the last thing I said into the mic tonight is I'm fading goalies, but at this point, and this is the way I like to think about it, like, I don't like hard wiring guys into groups of tiers necessarily, but when I'm looking at right now, I'm looking at the next, say, 10, 15 players coming up on the board. Vazzy is the only one who's
So
clear
the next
cut.
tier of players, right?
Well, no, in who's not drafted right now, the next there's a big jump in between Vazzy and the next guy at this
Yeah.
point. Whereas there's a bit of a blur going on in the forward positions right now, like Marner, Kane, Barkov. And the other thing I'm considering right now is I don't have to wait very long to my next pick. Right, so that's another big consideration for me. Is um, I might just do Vaz. I'm gonna do Vaz because I mean, as much as I don't like Tiers, he is definitely just the one solo goalie who's definitely a league of his own. So
Yeah.
Barkov,
And
Ovechkin,
you were kind
Marner.
of, yeah, you're beating around the term, but value over replacement is exactly what you pretty much described. Is
Yeah,
you're getting what Vasilevsky brings versus Patrick Kane, Barkov, Ovechkin, Marner, and even now, like who's at the top of your list? There's like Crosby, there's Huberdeau, like that's kind of the same tier as a Barkov, Ovechkin, Marner, or Kane. So really, what did you miss out on? A forward who's pretty much lateral with those three guys, those four guys, or the number one goalie off the board. So exactly what you did is what I would have did at number 10 too.
yeah, and I mean, really, you know, creating tiers is the same thing. It's just putting borders on value above replacement, right? It really
Yes,
is. We are talking
exactly.
about the same thing. And the part of tiers that I dislike is just where you're trying to pick an arbitrary line. And the only thing I don't like about that is sometimes people then start looking for lines where there aren't any. But Vasilevsky is a clear, definite. If you want to make a tier, that's a tier. You know what I mean?
And the a problem I have with tiering prior to the draft is right now our tiers are so very fluid. Every single
Yeah.
time a player gets picked, the tier line moves, and there's no tiers. This is not something that can be projected, going into it. Yeah, there can be like a tier one left wing, but if you're looking for a left wing, like again, the draft is such a reactionary, and whatever the opposite of reactionary is, proactive. Is that right? Proactive. Like you
I think you
gotta
got to be
you gotta know
proactive.
where you're going, and you got to be able to react. So right now you're looking at, let's sort by ADP. Brady Kachuk still hanging out there. He's not ranked for the most points because, we're in a points league that kind of mutes hits and shots a little bit. Sebastian Aho, Mika Zibanejad, Jonathan
Oh.
Huberdeau, Victor Hedman, Kale McCarr. Are you going to go completely rogue and take a D here? What are you thinking?
No, I'm not. I definitely want a forward right now.
Yep.
My my heart's got me going between Crosby and Aho right now. But on the other hand, there is one thing I've always wanted to do. I'm not going to do it. I've always wanted to completely go against the grain and take Vazzy and Hellebuck and
No,
just like
not this year. Not with
win
Leonard and
goalies. Not
Kemper. Yeah.
exactly. I'm not going to do that, but that's something I've always pretended to do.
Just
I
being
think,
monstrous in net.
and then they both get injured, and you're screwed your first 3 rounds.
Fuck. Oh,
No,
you can say that about any player.
one guy that I have way higher hopes on than most people is Crosby, and I'm taking him right now. I'm taking him probably for maybe I see like a decline coming, but I think he's still super valuable, reliably.
So right after Crosby is who I would have picked. I like Jonathan Huberdeau. I like him a lot this year.
Mm.
Second round, fourth pick. I feel pretty comfortable with that at 16. I think Huberdeau, you take any 82 game sample size and he's pushing 95 points, close to 100. Mark Stone right behind him, a little high for me. Not huge on his shooting percentage last year. I mean, he's a Benajad, fine with that. Sebastian Aho, I'm okay with that. So let's talk about what I want to do here in round two. Um, man, do I go goalie? Because we're talking value over replacement. Robin Leonard projected at 312. I know he's going to be good, but there's so many question marks with that. The next highest skater is Alex DeBrincat. Let's just look at skaters here. there's pretty familiar faces inside the second round. Andrei Svechnikov, Jack Eichel, so many question marks. Braden Point, Cale Makar. Do I go D here? I feel pretty good with my first forward, Leon Draisaitl. Do I get another kind of cornerstone part of your roster and start loading up on D here in round two? Talking value over replacement, there's a big tier here of skaters that I'm okay with waiting 6 picks. But I do think, yeah, I think I just talked myself into it. So Cale Makar is going to be my pick here at 2-10. And Kemper goes right behind him. Robin Leonard, Braden Point, Brady Tkachuk, third round. That is great. And I still have my pick of the crop, like Svechnikov and DeBrincat were the two guys I earmarked as guys I would have chosen then. Yeah, man, what do you think? What are you thinking with this crop of players here?
From what you got coming up, yeah, it is a lot of players I like actually. I think DeBrincat to me I like a lot. Um, I like JT Miller a lot, but not yet. I like him a lot more tomorrow, for sure. But no, I mean, Shifley's not a bad choice. One thing that's on the board right now, a really fun pick would be Kaprasov. Just
I don't know if I have fun in round 3. My first 3 rounds are
no,
I like to be super safe. So Shifley, we talked about him in the last episode, one of the safest players out there. Um, Alex DeBrincat, the ceiling is super high, but we've seen a lot of up and down. Shifley got to serve that one last game of his suspension that he didn't get to play. No, I like Shifley here in round 3. I think he's a pretty safe point per game player. The other guys I'm considering are DeBrincat, who, hits point per game if he hits 40 goals. So ifs end of the third round does not mix for me. I can switch Draisaitl to left wing. I'm taking Shifley in round 3. Alex DeBrincat goes right behind him. John Carlson, Svechnikov. You're up, buddy. Landeskog goes, Hedman goes, Matthew Tkachuk, Adam Fox, still on the board for you.
Fox is on the board. I'm not going in on him. I still have some reservations about him, especially this high, and I definitely my strategy, generally speaking, is to go hard on forwards early, like get high caliber forwards. And it's just a little early.
Still there for you.
A little early for me for Fox, Hamilton. I like Miller, obviously. Eichel, Nurse is a bit high, but Stamkos. It's another dual eligible. Injury risk. I already have Crosby. I've had Crosby and Stamkos. I might have the Olympic
How many IR
bench,
spots are we doing?
So that's who else we got in this sort of area coming up. We got Pettersson, Connors. I like all them next round. I know.
I mean, you're pretty close to next round, so it's really like
exactly. So I get to look forward to that. I think I am going to go. Oh, I'd love to take Eichel just for the upside, but I don't. I think he's going to miss a lot. I'm going Mr. Stevan Stamkos.
Yeah, you do like your sturdy old folks.
I do, as a right wing.
Connor.
Going with
Dougie Hams, Tyson Berry. There goes Kaprizov. You missed him by 1 pick. I bet
That's
Stamkos
okay.
would have been here.
I don't really want Kaprizov. It is way too risky for this early. I don't think it's a huge risk, but
tell you what, man, I would not be.
His upside is Stamkos's bad season. So
let's talk about Pettersson, because I think that's a pretty smart move here.
Let's talk about Pettersson, because I've got him queued up as well right now for the obvious.
What's your team look like so far? So I know you got Stamkos, I know you got Crosby, and you got Vazzy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's not so bad.
No.
Are you gonna go?
I'm happy to go with Pedersen here. Like I said, if it was tomorrow in the categories, I'd be looking seriously at JT Miller right now for his category coverage. But Pedersen, as I said, I think in the last episode, maybe in the Canucks episode, he does get a little bit more in terms of hits and blocks than you think. Nothing crazy, but I kind of picture him as being a little bit wimpy, but he's not. Uh, I'm taking him. Look behind me. Look at who am I kidding here? I'm taking Patterson.
I forgot to delete the Yahoo League that we made by accident. There goes Chikrin. There goes Fox. We're on a D run right now. So I think I got ahead of the storm with Kale McCarr here. JT Miller finally goes. All right. I, like you, like to focus on forward. But what I don't like is the forwards that I'm greeted with here. John Tavares, Ryan O'Reilly, Anze Kopitar. Jeez, this is gross. I mean, I really want Ehlers, but it's so early. I can't do it. I can't do it yet. All right, let's I wanted to go 0G, but right now, I mean, none of the goalies that are here right now interest me at a fourth round pick. I'm looking at Tristan Jarry, who a lot of projections seem to be favoring at this point. Igor Shesterkin, UC Soros, Marc Andre Fleury. None of those guys are worth it to me. I'll be honest with you, Raj. Like rounds 3, 4, 5 are kind of my least favorite rounds because everything is so kind of muddled. I don't know what to do inside these rounds.
I hear you.
John Tavares is out there. I mean, it is a points league, so that upside is there.
It's
Give me a hint.
definitely a couple of rounds where you can make a mistake. Like right now, I could very easily reach for Brock Besser.
Yeah. These are the reach rounds where it's so hard to just like
calm your shit.
Stay steady. Yeah, like Malkin's out there, but I just don't know how bad his injury is, and Jesus, in the fourth round, I feel great about Malkin, but it's again, what's the what does it mean? His injuries. Jack Eichel, he's still out there, man. Roman Yossi, do I load up on D? I don't know. What pick are we at? We're at pick number 46. So, all right, going back to Pedersen, JT Miller, Max Pacioretty, Patrice Bergeron, Shea Theodore, Adam Fox. I have a center. I have a left wing. I have a D. When I leave round 5, typically I like to have a little bit of everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm sorting by right wing because I know that they go fast. There's not many enticing right wings left already. I mean, there's Reinhardt, but I'd feel disgusting taking him in the fourth round. Lindholm, man, he is steady. And he's dual eligible, so I got that going. Patrick Laine, do I bet on a bounce back here? I don't think so. None of these right wings feel like fourth round picks, man. The fuck do I do? This is a really tough spot because I really don't like this. You know what? Fuck you guys. I'm going to take
know what
Seth
I
Jones.
would do if I was in your pick right now.
What?
Well, I'm hoping he falls to my pick still.
Fuck your pick. Give a shit about your pick.
No way, I can't.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of just uncertainty here. Like Joe Pavelski, I know his projections are bullshit. Like I really don't expect him to repeat. Kevin Fiala, again, he's 65 points to me. I can't buy there. Jason Robertson, Ryan Nugent Hopkins. Like this is a disgusting round 4 for me. So I think I'm just going to do something that I talked about earlier. It's just liking your team and hedging your bets. Seth Jones, I think, is going to have a fantastic year. I'm going Seth Jones here. It's a terrible decision. I know it. Like still Quinn Hughes out there. There goes Ehlers. I knew he would be going pretty soon. I thought it was too early, but I guess it wasn't. 2 picks ahead of where I want it to be. So now maybe I can go back to skaters and feel okay about taking a Jack Eichel in round 5. Okay about, a Brock Besser, um, an Elias Lindholm. There's options out here that don't disgust me in the 5th round, but it just seemed way too early at that point. And now I got 2 stud D who are going to rack power play points up like nobody's business in Cale Makar and Seth Jones. But at this point, like I need another skater, and Elias Lindholm, in my opinion, maybe the best Calgary Flame on the team. So I'm going to take Lindholm here. I don't feel great about it. Like I'm starting to get a little disappointed in my team and how it shake out, but I'm going to see if I can recover. Aaron
Lindholm's.
Ekblad, man, look at that D run.
Oh, Saros. I really
Is
like
that who you're going for?
No, I wasn't. I would probably hold off till the very last pick for a goalie at this point. I got Vasilevsky. I can pick whoever
Mm,
and be pretty comfy.
big D run.
I need a D, and the D I want is still here. Who is Chris Letang?
Pair him up with your Crosby.
He's good.
Your team is going to be excellent for 65 games this year.
Exactly. Looking at other D that are still available at this point, Petrie's there, which he could be amazing. Just worried about Montreal. They just went. They got another defensive forward.
Christian Dvorak, yeah.
Yeah, like great.
He's not bad.
No, he's good, but he is another defensive forward, right? Like he's good all-round player, very Montreal-ish. Petrie's gonna have a big role, so I wouldn't feel bad about taking him right now. McAvoy is still around, but again, he's better tomorrow for me. I keep
So let's
saying
talk
tomorrow.
about these picks.
Tomorrow
what, next
meaning
year?
the Cats
Or next
Cats
round.
draft. Categories
right,
draft
right.
tomorrow is what I meant by that.
So Darnell Nurse goes right after my Lindholm pick. Roman Yossi, Neil Pionk, Aaron Ekblad, big D run here inside the 5th round. Vincent Trocheck at pick 5 or round 5, pick 8. And then you see Saros, like Roger saying, how many goalies is that off the board? I think maybe 5 or 6. I know Kemper and Leonard went back to back, pick 211 and pick 212. And that was after your Vasilevsky. And I think Hellebuck went as well. So Saros being the G5 there, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Oh, I'll tell you before I make my pick here. The cool window, the spreadsheet window, doesn't update real time.
That's a bummer.
I have to keep re-downloading it and all that, so it's a bummer. I know who I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna take Letang.
Got to get that D.
He even if he plays 70 games, 68 games, he still ends up as, usually in the top 10, almost automatically in the top 10 in any format of league. He's just so good.
Man, there goes Evander Kane. But I think Joe had to put his child to sleep, so I don't know if that had to do with it. But man, Charlie McAvoy right behind your Letang. The D run continues. Evander Kane, not sure what's up there. David Perron, Jeff Petrie. So there is a lot of D going right now. I'm glad I got my Seth Jones. I'm glad I got my Cale Makar. You're up, round 6, pick number 3. What direction are you thinking about taking this pick?
I think I'm taking this pick. There's 3 guys. I always have to second guess when I want to take another Canuck, which I kind of do. I want to take Besser right now. I want to risk Eichel right now, potentially, round 6. I mean, on the off chance that Jack Eichel plays a year of hockey and you get him in round 6, that's crazy. I think he'll probably end up playing about 2/3 of a season. But
yeah, we got to hope. I mean, if he gets traded, if he gets the surgery.
Yeah, what if he ends up being a, post-Olympic break kind of guy? We'll see. So because of that huge question, I'm not gonna play fun. I'm not gonna take him right now. Besser, Nylander's starting to look like not a bad pick. But another big risk that I was thinking of taking right now is Sagan. I again, just the potential of him could be very big, but the chance of it actually happening scares the hell out of me. I could sit here and talk myself into like
You're
he's
going to.
always
You're gonna overthink it, man.
well, you see, and then you can always do that. That's the always the danger with any type of analytics is how far do you dig? You just dig till you get the answer you want most of the time,
Yeah.
right?
I talked myself into Kale McCarr,
Yeah,
so I was
I
right
think
there
that was
with you.
lucky. See, like
I mean,
I would.
this is a round where even Johnny Gaudreau starts to look good, right? Like
Yeah,
Patrick Laine, Kevin Fiala start looking like pretty good bets here. Matt Barzell, love him in points leagues. Sam Reinhart, huge gamble, probably a good gamble. Your boy Taylor Hall. There's
this
there's
is
sixth
another.
round options out here that really fit in the sixth round.
Yeah, and I need to at this point. I need to start thinking about positions because I did get two high end centers. I've got a right wing. I've got a good D. I've got the best goalie. I don't have any left wings yet, so it's worth taking a look at. I don't like doing everything based on position, but at some points you have to make sure you're covering your bases. And right now, there's no left wings for a while.
Gaudreau, Fiala. That's about your best, and Taylor Hall.
And this is where I gotta go. I don't want. I hate those people so much. Oh, there's somebody I like a lot, who it's too far away. I'm going to take. I'll tell you. I'm taking either Besser or Nylander. Who would you take?
I would take Besser.
Yeah, okay, that's who I'm taking.
That's who I hope you don't take. So I mean, I am being honest with you.
Okay, let's go for the the flow.
The Brock Best monster. All right. Let's see what the picks fall out after that.
My might need to
Send it.
reconnect. Oh, there we
What are
go.
you doing?
It's just spinning. There
There
we go.
goes Shabbat, sixth round. Love him in the sixth round. Rupi Hintz, Tyler Sagan, William Nylander, all the players you were talking about, all the
Yeah.
players I was even considering. Ryan O'Reilly there. Huge damage to my queue at this point. I'm telling you, Kevin Fiala starts to look really good here to me. Kevin Fiala. I mean, there's goalies out there like Semyon Varlamov that might switch where I'm headed. Tristan Jarry, don't trust him. Igor Shesterkin, what's up with you? Mike Smith, no, I'm off the Mike Smith. But dude, Semyon
He
Varlamov, like,
repairs.
I'll tell you though, I feel a lot better about 0G in points leagues than I do in categories leagues, especially like a 7-4 category league where goalies start to like really matter. Points leagues, goalies are important, especially like this one, like the fantasy points per game are, it's a pretty big spread. Semyon Varlamov might not get the volume, but I know I'm going to get solid stats here. And there's still guys like Grubauer, Ullmark, Markstrom, Carter Hart, Jordan Biddington, guys that I think are going to take volume, maybe Frederick Anderson. That'll be available later. So at this point here in round six, closing in on round seven, Semyon Varlamov is on the tip of my tongue. But again, you look at Jack Eichel, you look at Evgeny Malkin, you look at Sean Couturier,
Tip of your
Kevin
what?
Fiala, tip of my tongue,
Oh,
the forefront of my mind. How about that? Sam Reinhart, Bo Horvat, Taylor Hall. Um, I already have my one center, so I don't think I'm going to go Couturier here. I do believe that the injury questions around Malkin are going to let him slip another 6 picks. I think Eichel will slip another 6 picks. Kevin Fiala is out there. My wing depth is not looking too good. I do technically have 3 centers with Lindholm, Draisaitl, and Scheifele. So at this point, I want that dual eligible winger. I'm going Kevin Fiala, and I'm going to bank on maybe Varlamov being there. Sam Reinhart right behind him.
damn it.
Nicholas Backstrom, Couturier. Look at this center run. Petrangelo. and then it's back up to me. Eichel's still there. Malkin is still there. Morgan Riley. Man, do I take a third D before round 7 is over? At this point, like you're really looking at Morgan Riley. I think his projection right now, like he's 171. Guys like Drew Doughty are 183. I think they're not doing enough justice by his projection. I think that power play is going to be a hell of a lot better. Toronto is a fucking good offense.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot there for Morgan Riley. So if I was thinking D, Morgan Riley, Drew Doughty would be at the top of my list. But what am I thinking about? Anze Kopitar is out there. Patrick Laine is still out there. He will still be out there, I believe. And I wouldn't be too mad if he wasn't. I think this is where I take a goalie. I really want to go, 0G and all that fun stuff, but I got to think about this team because we are playing this league. We're going to turn it into a best ball league and see how it goes. I think Varlamov has a better year than guys like who was I talking about before then? I can't even remember.
Oh,
The
we
only
got
person I'm thinking about
Grubauer's up
here.
there.
Yeah, Grubauer's out there.
Chesty.
But I was thinking skaters like, Forsberg I really like, but I don't think I can take him here. Jack Eichel, too many question marks. Suzuki, Morgan Riley. So for me, it's between Morgan Riley and Semyon Varlamov. But I already have 2D. I have 0 goalies. Varlamov brings me great rate stats. I'm going Varlamov here. There goes Malkin, Zach Werenski, Jonathan Toews, Anze Kopitar, Nicholas Suzuki. A lot of centers. People catching up on centers here in the draft. Raj, you're up 7-10. Miro Heiskanen right before you. Can't remember if I said Nick Suzuki. How's your team looking for centers? You got Sidney Crosby, you got Elias Pettersson. You're not worried.
My centers are
I think.
locked down. Do you remember last time I had Elias Pettersson and I said my centers were locked down when I had Eichel and Pettersson? And I was like,
Oh
I'm
man,
going to win. And then they didn't play.
and then they played a combined like 30 games.
Yeah.
So it looks like you need a left wing. You need D. Are
I
you taking
do.
Morgan Riley? Because I think that's a solid freaking pick right here.
I do like Morgan Riley here. My debate right now is Taylor Hall or Morgan Riley because I need left wing. I need D. I have pretty solid hopes for Taylor Hall this year, as I do
Well,
for
let me
Riley, especially
let me
in
throw you a
this
bone.
league. In this league, I really think both of them are going to.
Let me throw you a bone here. Teuvo Teravainen. I think, he's dual eligible. I think the projections are not doing him any favors because of the piss poor season he had last year. He is consistently one of the best points league players out there playing next to Teuvo Teravainen. They just got Kakaniemi, who's going to play at left wing. Does that put Svechnikov on the top line and kind of make a super line there? There's question marks there, but I think Teuvo Teravainen, Taylor Hall, man, I got them kind of in the same group. I'm avoiding the word tier, but yeah, I think they might be in the same tier, especially with Teravainen, top line, top power play. We hope about top power play. I think there was a lot last year that was going on that kept him from the deployment that he should have been seeing. Taylor Hall, second line, hoping for top power play. I mean, one of those guys has questions, one of them doesn't. And I think Teuvo Teravainen is the player that doesn't have a lot of question marks there. Between him and Morgan Riley, what are you thinking? I'm curious your thoughts.
Well, I'm
on
leaning
my bone.
Riley. I'm scrolling as you talk, and my left wing projections have changed. There's a few left wings that I like coming up. Even when it gets, there's a few left wings that I really like who are way down. So I'm actually gonna kind of put off left wing for a bit. And I think worst case Ontario, Riley is really good. The upside is huge on that Toronto power play. If he gets a lot of power play time and Toronto plays like they should, he'll probably be like on Norris ballots and not win it, but he'll be up there.
So 2 more goalies go after your Morgan Riley pick. Philip Grubauer before Shesterkin, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, and then Joe Pavelski goes as well. And yeah, Joe had to go. He did not mean to take Evander Kane. He wanted that to be known. He said, what did he say? Yeah, definitely didn't cue Evander Kane. Um, and yeah, so he picked Pavelski, he picked Grubauer. He's starting to filter in some of these rankings by projections here. So might have done you a favor. There's still some good players out there. You can get
Yeah,
Taylor Hall here too.
I
You could
know.
have both players.
That's very true. There's a few left wings now. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I got Riley because I have a feeling he might have gone in there. There's Hall. There's Forsberg. I feel like Patrick Laine is going to have a decent season.
Oh
Uh,
God.
I do. I very much
Are we
do.
doing that here? Yeah. There's a lot in his favor.
Not to his old numbers that he had in Winnipeg when they were stacked. Definitely not those kind of numbers, but better. Um, Goudreau could do better. Another guy I just don't like having. So I think I'm
Super
going.
fun in points leagues. There's tons there.
I know there is, but I am going with Taylor Hall.
Right on. So you take Taylor Hall, Travis Konechny, try eligible goes right behind him. There goes Teravainen. God damn. I wonder how many people are actually watching this draft right now too. There's close to a dozen people in. So I wonder if Justin is on the feed and saw Teravainen. There goes Barzell in round 8, Johnny Gaudreau in round 8. Some great value happening here. Drew Doughty, great pick W, because I noticed that there's a steep drop when it comes to D right now. I only have 2D, and there is, let's see, how many power play one guys left out there. John Klingberg, maybe you call that a power play one. Torrey Krug, I don't know. Tony D'Angelo, that's what I'm doing. I'm betting on D'Angelo here. It's probably too early, but I think it's sneaky. And I think people are paying attention. And I think people are watching this fucking YouTube feed. So there's enough there. Patrick Laine goes right behind him. Jason Robertson, Jonathan
Ah,
Marchessault. I'm back up. Yeah, there goes Laine.
I wanted
Um,
Robertson was actually the one I didn't say because I knew it was live on YouTube. Robertson was
there's
the
a
actual left wing I wanted.
there's a lot out there for me right now. There's a lot. We're here in round 9. I'm staring down Brian Rust, Philip Forsberg, who is one of the best fantasy players out there for 60 games a year. Sam Bennett, kind of a gamble here, but I know there's going to be some fans of that pick out there.
Hmm.
Um, Tristan Jarry getting so much love in projections, and it's kind of, I just don't know if I can bet on that. You know what I mean? Man, Dylan Larkin, Anthony Mantha, Tom Wilson. At this point, Jack Eichel still being out there. Is it time to take the swing? His ADP is 38. We're hanging out here at pick number 100, close to it, 99. So for me, it's
There's
between Rust and Forsberg.
yes, I
But I
know it
have,
is.
yeah,
It's between you and Zach's favorite players in fantasy.
yeah. I mean,
Good
Bennett's up there
picks.
too, but
Good
that's
picks.
more of a gamble. I have a ton of center depth, cross center depth, I guess. And
Uyghur.
do I take Eichel here?
Uyghur's
Not.
in the
I don't
picture.
know. I don't know. Frederick Anderson too. Like there's plenty to play with. Like, do I lock up another goalie? But I
Yeah,
definitely like to. What's that?
I think Anderson is not getting enough love this offseason. He's on Carolina.
Yeah.
He's on Carol. He has defense playing on his team now. Like he's not his best defenseman's T.J. Brody anymore. Like he's got an actual team playing in front of him. I think he is going
Well,
to be. He's going to
Jacob Slavin,
surprise a lot of people this year.
Dougie's not there. You swap that out for Tony D'Angelo, you start to get a little nervous. Yeah, you bring in Ethan Bear and Jacob Slavin's still a good defenseman, and
I think they're going to be good.
there's enough there.
I think he's going to be better than he's been the last couple of seasons in Toronto.
I like to get past round 10 with one at every position.
High for Tony. No.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was, but I started seeing, yeah, somebody in the Fantrax chat says hi for Tony. Tony D'Angelo, but I started to see top power play defensemen wiped off the board. Drew Doughty was picked. He was one of the last top power play defensemen. John Klingberg just got picked too. So, I mean, just for, so that I can back up my pick here, we're looking at Rasmus Dahlin, Brent Burns, Torrey Krug as remaining, top power play defenseman here in a points league. And it's like Erik Karlsson. Do I bet on one of the 4 defensemen on Philadelphia who could maybe be top power play? You know, value over replacement. That's kind of where I was headed. Now it's got to be a skater. And I don't know what to do. I think at this point I got to take Fiala, or not Fiala, Forsberg. I mean, round 10, I feel pretty cool about that. Filling out my roster here. And
sheesh.
What the?
Rocker.
Kaliev, eh?
Rocker's going off the board.
I got to get some of that weed.
Kaliev, Rust, Anderson, Krug.
Yeah, there goes
Jack
Freddie
Hughes.
Anderson. Smart move. I mean, I know W is a Canes fan, so.
Dahlin. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Hughes gets a little bit better this year. Like by a little bit. I think so too. I mean, quite a bit better. Better numbers.
All right, hold on. I'm going to troll T-Cat.
There is some thinking for old Raj to do here. I keep getting these Canucks at great value, but I gotta stop. If I didn't have 2 centers already, I would definitely be taking Horvat right now. If anybody needs
Larkin, fucking Larkin.
Ah, fuck Larkin.
No, nobody goes for Larkin.
Nah.
I mean, he's solid. Yeah, I mean, you're here in round 9.
There's some good picks right now. Toffoli's there still. Buchnevich, Bennett, Weegar. But since I need a left wing still, another guy's more gooder in categories leagues, but who I do like. Ooh, shit.
Oh, shit. I can't wait to hear this one. Are you going to say Buchnevich?
No, I'm looking at left wings. I was very much about to click someone, and now I want someone else. Okay, so
Making for great radio here, Raj. Okay, Brady Shen.
He's also got the dual eligibility, which is great.
Right on.
That, but fuck, dare I say? I should. Zach Hyman.
Giroux. Oh, he's in my queue.
Zach
so.
Hyman.
I'm not far behind you. Jakob Vrana, I think, is just as good a bet. Anders Lee consistently gets faded. Andre Burakovsky, like one of my sleeper candidates
Zach
this year.
Hyman. I just went Zach Hyman. Sorry.
Oh man, risky bisky.
Nah.
All right, round number 9 for our sleepers this year, boys. That's the way we're going.
Yeah. Sleeper. I don't know about sleeper. That's not.
So
really...
Ryan Ellis happened. Why is Joe Bond off auto trade?
I definitely put it this way. I'd rather have Zach Hyman than Dahlin or Ryan Ellis. Or Jack Hughes, for that matter. Or Torrey Krug. Someone's not auto. There we go.
All right. Well, he took Demko. I had to switch him back to auto. Sorry, Joe. I know he's like juggling things. There goes Giroux. There goes Toffoli.
Ooh, there goes my cue.
You're back on the clock.
There goes my cue.
So I mean, I still got a pretty solid queue right now. I don't want to put it on the air.
I've got 2 centers, 2 left wing, 2 right wing, 2 D, and a goalie, which is generally how I like to do things. I usually fill out all my forward positions and top 2D and a goalie. That's I like to be flexible, but that did work out pretty much how I like things to work out. And now I usually like to reassess stuff because I've got 2 D positions left, 2 skaters, which mean they can be whatever, and a goalie position. So again, to look at the value over replacement with what's left here. Oh, Horvat, man, wouldn't that be on brand?
Yeah, you have to.
Connor Garland's in the picture. I could still get Shen, actually. Mantha. How do you feel about Mantha this year?
I like him. Raj or me and Zach have been going back and forth. Like, I think he hits top power play. I think Zach is still stuck on Kuznetsov on the top power play. I think it's Mantha. I think they're over the Evgeny Kuznetsov experiment. You know, so I'm all on board for Mantha, but this will be the second year in a row that I've said that, and we all know how it worked out for me last year. So I just don't know if he's going to burn me again. So
Burn me once.
there's a bit jaded, some jaded love there. Um, yeah, man.
See this
Here in round, what are we in round 10? I think you're totally justified in taking him.
this is one of the. I mean, again, you don't want to stretch too far just to like reach your strategy, you know. Like, but if I had one, this is another time I would be looking for dual eligibility, sort of in this range too. The guys who are gonna be
Yep,
slotting in and out,
there's
right?
Verhage. Verhage's out there with
That's
dual
true.
eligibility. He's a pretty good bet. Um,
Kubalik.
Kubalik, he's going to put up some goals. Anthony Mantha too. So right in line with what you're saying, and Braden Shen too, man. Like, if we're sorting by fantasy points and you start skipping some of the goalies, who are we looking at? I mean, there's a lot of goalies. Tomas Hertl, center only, because Evgeny Kuznetsov, center only. You're repping Sidney Crosby and Elias Pettersson. You don't need a center only. So I think
No,
you do need to diversify a little bit and hit some of these dual eligible players.
I'm really
Mantha,
thinking.
I think
Here's my.
Mantha's the pick, dude.
Yeah, that's. It's him or Shen, but I like the left wing, right wing, and I think Mantha has a little bit more upside. I think we know exactly where Shen's upside is.
There goes Horvat. There goes Larkin. There goes Kubalik. All the guys we were talking about.
Yeah.
Samsonov, love him in round 10. Giordano, Tom Wilson. I'm up here. I got a pretty hefty queue that I'm pretty proud of, but I'm going to do something that I talked about in the 10 lessons learned from this year. I'm
What?
taking Ilya Sorokin. I am locking up the tandem here inside round 10. I have the New York Islanders
Tandem.
tandem. I'm getting
Wow.
wins. I'm getting wins.
Okay.
Okay. I
C
never
lock.
have to worry about, yeah, there's going to be 1 week, 2 weeks all year where the New York Islanders only play 2 games. And maybe I have to stream a goalie in. But at this point, I'm getting every single New York Islanders game they've made the quarterfinals or the semifinals. What, 3 years in a row, 2 years in a row? They're a good fucking team. They're a good defensive team. The only exciting part of their team is their goalies. And now I have both of them. Ilya Sorokin is going to lead the league in back-to-back games this year because the New York Islanders have 19. That's a league most 19 New York Islander back-to-back games. I have Varlamov, I have Sorokin. I'm happy with that tandem. Considering Provorov, Burns, Hronik, and Devin Tays went behind him, and I'm
Oh my
still up,
god. That is a D run that I don't want any part of.
I'm fine with who I took. Right now, top of my queue, Timo Meyer. I'm thinking about Andre
Nice.
Burakovsky. Carter Hart is out there still, who I think might be one of the most value ADP type goalies out there. Ilya Samsonov, same deal. He keeps getting faded. Samsonov, 10th round. We were talking about, Varlamov and Grubauer getting faded into the 10th round. I think Samsonov is that guy this year. He's on Washington. They're going to win games. That's
That's fair.
Yeah, I think he's a value, and I think Carter Hart's the same kind of gamble. The difference being Carter Hart has been going much later ADP wise. I'm looking at skaters here. We're inside round 10, and I've already got both goalies. So I definitely need to focus on my forward core. I have 3 defensemen that I'm pretty okay with: Seth Jones, Cale Makar, Tony DeAngelo. Yeah, Tony DeAngelo was early in the 8th, but we just saw 4D go here in the 10th. Ivan Provorov, Brent Burns, Philip Hronik, Devin Tays. I still want Tony DeAngelo more than any of those guys. So how early was he? I don't know. You still got guys like Risto who could take the top power play. Keith Yandel still out there who could take Philly's top power play. Uyghur, is he going to have like this stellar year that he had last year? I don't know that I'm going D. I only have 1 D spot left, and I have 3 skater spots left. So actually 5 skater spots left. So I'm probably leaning forward. Sam Bennett staring me in the face. Pavel Buchnevich. I think this is when I'm going to take my sleeper call. So I was giving you shit last round for Zach Hyman, but I think I'm going to gamble on Andre Burakovsky, who without Jonas Donskoy is probably going to take top power play in Colorado. I want some of those top power play points. I'm taking Burakovsky here. Linus Ullmark, Ryan Pulak, Eric Carlson, Sam Girard, Jordan Binnington. There goes Teamer Meyer, who was my other option. What are you thinking here, Raj? What does your
I
team
don't
look like?
need much more thought. I need a D, and I'm taking Mackie Weeks.
Easy enough. There goes Vince Dunn right behind him. Joe, you got to be on auto draft, man.
I love even though Uyghur's probably not power play one, like certainly not. Um, he's proven that he doesn't really need it to put up reasonable numbers. And I love the way Florida looks this year. Yeah, I really like Florida. Oh, there goes Carter Hart, Palat, Buchnevich. And it's back to me. So now I've got my 3D, one skater, one goalie. So I'm looking at just who is the best. If there is anyone who's sort of, big value above replacement in terms of their position, I'm going to switch my sorting back to all positions.
I think you need a goalie.
I do need a goalie. However, I don't know if I can say this without just doing it.
Tristan Jarry's still out there.
That's true. That's
I think
very
he's the
true.
pick.
We're
Like
in
he's not
round.
getting enough love. I spent the most of this episode saying I don't believe in Tristan Jarry, but here, round 12, you can have two volume goalies on two very good teams.
Nah, I'm still
Man,
not going goalie. There's a couple of guys right now that it's time to roll some dice. Like Tarasenko is still there.
Jack Eichel,
Jack Eichel is
Sam
still
Bennett.
there.
Yeah.
Sam Bennett is still there. That's more of where my heart's at, but it's really tying my heart in knots. I could, for my last skater spot, I am going to fill that spot with someone who's not really risky, which is Braden Shen.
Okay. There goes
Just be
Sam Bennett. I like that pick. I mean, I felt it was time. Ryan Strome, he's been in my queue for a long time. There goes Tristan Jarry, Jeremy Swayman.
Lafreniere, Connor Garland.
Yeah, buddy. These are about those rounds where you start taking swings. I mean, I took my Andre Burakovsky swing. I felt pretty solid about it. So, these are the swing rounds. Worst case scenario, you wind up with a streaming spot. Totally fine with it. Let's take a look at my roster. What do I need to focus on? I technically have centers to cope with that. Burakovsky, from what I remember, is dual eligible. No, it looks like he's just the left wing. Do I go D? Let's check out what the D is, because I do have one D spot open and I have a center spot open. I think there's going to be more center depth than there is defense depth. So at this point, D is going to suck this round. It's probably going to suck next round too. I wouldn't focus on D at this point. Yeah, I mean, nothing here looks enticing. The best defenseman is Rasmus Ristolainen, Alec Martinez. That realm of defensemen will be there next round. Let's check out the centers and see if we can't find somebody dual eligible like Carter Verhaeghe.
There you go.
He's going to play on the top line right there. I mean, we're still looking at Dubois, who probably will get left wing status. I have a couple aces up my sleeve in my queue, but I think Carter Verhaeghe is the pick here in a points league. Feel real good about that. Drake Batherson right behind him.
like
Mike
Batherson
Smith,
a lot.
Sergei Bobrovsky. There goes Cole Caulfield. Pick 146. I like him there. I feel pretty comfortable with him there.
Yeah, this is about, like you're saying, this is the time for guys like that. If he doesn't work out, you didn't really lose anything.
I'm back up. And I think I might take one of these aces up my sleeve at this point, but I want to reassess what's going on at D. Nothing changed. No D got taken. Um, I'm going to take Anders Lee,
Oops.
Brendan Gallagher, Jacob Markstrom, Cal Peterson. We're seeing a decent goalie run go here. Wow. There goes Oliver Bjorkstrand. He was one of the aces up my sleeve, so Grizz is on his shit. Big goalie run. Yeah, like TCAT was saying. Here in round 13, another one. So we saw Markstrom go. I love the volume there. What do you think goes on with Calgary? Do you think Markstrom puts up pretty solid numbers? He wasn't so hot last year, but he sees the whole NHL this year.
Yeah, and you know what? Even when he wasn't so hot last year, in most fantasy leagues, he was still ranked like around number 10. He wasn't horrible at all, just because he gets just volume. So in most leagues, he's fine actually. I think
Yeah,
he'll be better. I think he'll be better than last year. I absolutely think that. I
Danny
just
Vladar is just about the bottom backup, that I see stealing starts. Like Vladar, I don't think he still starts.
I had 3 goalies lined up.
Did they all get taken here?
Yeah, that goalie run
Pedersen,
was
Peterson,
exactly.
Price, and Talbot. Shit, but I told you had to take a goalie.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to squeak through one more round.
Is Carter Hart still? No, he did get picked, didn't he?
Yeah. So I'm.
You can go Mrazek. You can take the Toronto tandem. You can take Campbell and Mrazek to go with your Vasilevsky.
Yeah. I don't like. See, right now I'm at the point with the goalies where there's nobody I like. I think this is
The
okay.
Twilight Zone for goalies.
There's a bunch of guys who are a fine last goalie pick, but I'm not gonna do goalies right now. I am gonna go back to my fade. We'll just call it 0G after having the number 1G.
1G. Just go 1G.
Yeah. Now I do need a D as the other position I don't have filled out. So my D pick at this point is what I should really look at. I'm thinking there is Sergachev is on the table. Truba's on the table. Truba's more of a categories league guy.
It's for tomorrow.
Weber is not really playing. Spurgeon's there. He's always kind of just, I could write his stats in right now for the season probably.
All right. I know who you should pick.
Yeah.
Tolvanen or Jakob Vrana. Those are the two picks that make sense right now.
I have Tolvanen already queued up. I've had him queued up
I
all
figured
night
you did that
long.
in round one. Yeah.
I did actually. I'm just a little worried about my D. But I do have another pick coming up quite soon.
I like Sergachev here. Like he would be top of my queue.
I've got it either Sergachev or the guy I said I would never speak of, which is Morrissey. I think Sergachev's got more of what I need, and I'm going with Sergachev. He's just so boring.
Goes Kuznetsov, Ristolainen goes, Martinez goes. So a lot of D. There goes Tolvanen.
Damn it.
You missed out. I bet
Yep.
that doesn't feel good. Sorry,
No, it's
buddy.
okay. It's okay. It's another guy who a lot of the value that makes him draftable is hits, so I'm not too troubled by that. Now all my positions are covered. I need one more goalie, and then we've got what's a bench? We got 5 bench.
No, it should only be two. Like
Two,
Fantrax sometimes just says 6. So
two
don't buy
bench.
into that. I think it's just 2. Yeah.
Okay, so I need a goalie, and then I have 2 bench. So goalies, I don't care.
I had to let the chat know because last time people changed their strategy as a result. Oh, I can just wait. I'll get a D next because
There is. Dang, man.
there's
There's a couple of guys here who really get my heart going, but I just don't feel like I can pick. Mangiapane is one. I really like him, but he's just not that quite good enough for me.
oh, damn it.
Well, okay. So, how worried are you about Tarasenko not playing?
Not really.
He's got to play somewhere.
I think he plays somewhere.
Because that's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, we're talking, what round are we? 14th round?
Yeah.
A, a not hot Tarasenko is worth a 14th round for sure.
Fine. There goes Verana. Dumba. Damn it. Fucking Justin. You piece of shit. You piece of shit. I hope you're watching. This is the round I was going to take Jack Eichel. You
Playing
fucking
chicken.
piece of shit.
Dude,
I was not saying words to you, Raj, because I knew you were circling that fucking, you like a shark in water, man. But Justin, just tabernacle motherfucker. God damn it. That's the anti-Lonzy, man. All right, Mike Hoffman. I really like that pick here too. I don't know why he's been the guy I just keep forgetting about this year, that he's in Montreal and is going to make an impact on that power play. Man, he is watching the fucking stream. Fuck that guy.
Okay.
Fuck you, Justin. Of course he's watching. He's been sniping me every other fucking round, man. Like he knows what I'm thinking here. Like I half get the feeling that my Q is visible, but I know it's not.
Well, I have to switch it. My Q was visible for the last 10 seconds, actually.
Nobody cares about your Q, Raj.
No.
I'm just kidding. Who's
somehow or another? Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go. Block it out. Beautiful. That's well done, sir. All right, let's see. I need defense at this point. That's the only spot I have left outside of my bench. There's nothing really going on defense. Maybe I take a swing on Keith Yandel here. I just don't feel cool with that. None of these defensemen really get me going. Nicoletti, Rasmus Anderson. I'm going to fade D the rest of the way. I'm taking Pierre-Luc Dubois. In the 14th round. Feel great about it. Feel real great about it. I get to go again. Yeah, I think these are the swinging rounds, man. Yeah, Jack Campbell. There it goes. We're in round 15 of 16. Or I don't know. Yeah. So there's going to be one more pick following this. I have one guy left in my flyer category because I know I have to take a D next round. So right now is when I want to take my flyer. I am so much higher on Blake Coleman than I should be. But in Fantrax, he's try eligible. I don't know what he's going to be in Yahoo. He is a Sutter player. He plays that banging game. I don't think he makes the top power play, but, you know, top 6 in Calgary is pretty exciting. He's at the top of my list right now. Chris Kreider, don't know what to make of him. Like, this is when you start thinking about those, last round picks, because I know I need to go D next round. So do I go Rossi? Do I go, one of those guys I've been talking about last round, Blake Coleman? Man, if it was a categories league, I feel really great about it, but I don't know. I know I need a skater here. Let's sort by ADP and see what's going on. Chris Kreider at the top of the list. Jordan Stahl, Justin Falk, Cam Atkinson. There's really not much out here. I mean, Logan Couture.
Yeah.
I mean, as a last round pick, he is one of the hockey players of all time.
He has played?
Joel Farabee. This is going to be a solid waiver wire. Like I am just taking my swings. Kasperi Kapanen, Sean
Okay,
Monahan,
good.
Kirby Doc still out here. Brock
He was
Nelson.
locked. Um,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just going to take that swing on Coleman. Got to do it. There goes Yandel, Mangiapane. A lot of people taking swings right now. Trevor Zegras, Tyler Bertuzzi, Josh Morrissey, Mackenzie Blackwood. Somebody going real late with D. These are the kind of guys like if you are employing 0G, Mackenzie Blackwood in the 15th is somebody you should get pretty acquainted with. I like
Mm-hmm.
that pick. He'll be in a tandem, but that's about the value you can be ready to have.
Okay, I need one more goalie, and I have. I'm doing shit. I'm going with Mrazek.
Just bet
Who
the other side of that Toronto
he's
tandem, right?
probably gonna be 50-50 or better in Toronto. Um, I hate it so much. But you know who I was gonna take is fucking Francouz. Right,
Not bad.
Francouz is one injury away from being the starting goalie on the best team in the league.
That's right.
Last year it was the other way around. It was
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing.
So we're starting to see people's last round swings. You got your goalie. Who is your last round swing?
I've got two, maybe three if I scroll down a little more. Let me just scroll for a second. You got some good players still out there. Really do. Well, I'm not taking three goalies in this setup. I would definitely take Francouz. There is still a first top line, top power play guy still available in Jaden Schwartz. That is Seattle, but
Yeah. You're gonna draft a Seattle
no,
Kraken?
I'm not because I'm taking Tim Stutzla instead.
All right. I
It's
dig it.
last pick. I
I mean,
like
Cam
it.
Atkinson has a chance at top line, top power play.
Yeah.
Kirby Doc got drafted, same deal. Nico Heischer, a lot of last round swings here. I am
OEL.
taking out a little insurance here. I'm going to draft Matt Grzelcyk in the last round, just in case Charlie McAvoy isn't the guy.
Fair.
And it's because I faded. It's because I faded D. Cam Atkinson, Sean Monahan, the last two picks of a 16 round, 12 team draft. Raj, let's go through our teams.
Okay. Let me do something real quick here.
All right, I'll start off with my team. My center depth, or I guess we'll go round by round. So I took Leon Draisaitl in the first round, back that up, 17, 18 picks later, maybe 19, with Cale Makar. Then I took Mark Scheifele in the third. Felt pretty good about that. Fourth, I took Seth Jones. I thought that was a little bit early, but if you remember back, it started a very violent D run that would have been hard to recover from had I not taken Seth Jones. So I do feel okay there. I might have missed out on Tyson Barrie. So I feel like in a points league, I probably should have went Tyson Barrie over Seth Jones. So if that was the case, I made a mistake. I should have taken Tyson Barrie first, but I feel okay about Seth Jones. Round 5 took Elias Lindholm. I really hated these rounds. There were so many guys that were just muddled together that I didn't feel great about, which led to me taking Seth Jones in the fourth because I didn't know what to go for. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go in. So I just took a guy that I felt that I wanted to leave the draft with, and that was Seth Jones. And I wound up in the 5th round looking at the same players that I was in the fourth round. So I got Seth Jones before that violent D run, and I wound up with a choice of the same crop of players that I would have had anyway. Round 6, I took Kevin Fiala, pretty safe 6th round pick. 7th, I took my first goalie in Semyon Varlamov. 8th round, I took Tony DeAngelo, probably a bit too high, but again, D were going off the board pretty quick. He was one of the last top power play defensemen left. 9th, I went Forsberg. I thought there was pretty good value there at pick 99. If he plays more than 60 games, he starts to pay return on investment. 10th round, Ilya Sorokin locked up to tandem. 11th, Burakovsky, my first real kind of sleeper swing there in the 11th. 12th, I took Verhage. I thought that was pretty solid. He's dual eligible. I have a lot of dual eligible guys in my roster, like Verhage, Draisaitl, Forsberg, Lindholm, Fiala, Burakovsky, I think, or Anders Lee. I'm not sure. Blake Coleman's tri eligible here. Where did I leave off? 13th round, I took Anders Lee. Just keeps getting slept on because he was hurt for so long. PLD in the 14th, I was okay taking that risk there. If he sucks, he sucks. I'll drop him. Blake Coleman, again, in the 15th round. He was technically my last round pick because I knew I needed to go D. And I took Grizzlick in the 16th. So I filled up that D. Raj, how do you like your team, man? What do you think? What do you think of it?
I don't mind my team at all. Just reassembling a couple of things for our view here. My team. So right. I ended up going, fading goalies, as I said, and then started my goalie fading by picking a goalie first. I got Vasilevsky first, but at 10 overall, it is a clear cut. He was the only guy who was far better than anything coming up next. You know what I mean? Value above replacement. Call it a tier if you like. A tier of 1. And then I ended up going a little bit old. I've just realized, let's see here, everyone in my top 8 rounds has had a major injury within the last 4 years, which is, that's a way you can go. It's a strategy you can take. I didn't set out to do so. Vasilevsky.
I'm drafting a team that I can just blame on injuries, and it's going to be real low maintenance because I don't have. There's no hopes here, right?
Excuses pre-made. I got Crosby, who I think is still a good player. Very good. He's still one of the best. Stamkos, I liked his dual eligible center right wing. Elias Pettersson, because I am me. Chris Letang as my first D in the 5th round. Letang is just so solid in any league.
He played most of a season last year too. So hopefully turning a corner.
If it's 82 game season, 56 game season, he still plays the same amount of games. He just has a set limit, a hard out at 60 games or so. But even so, he's like, his points per game, like fantasy points per game for a defenseman, are always near the top.
I always feel better drafting him with a IR spot.
Yes. Besser and Riley came up next. Besser again, I think, even though, it's easy to point to him being a Canuck, but I think it was a decent value in the 6th round. What did I have him at? Overall, he was 63rd overall, so not terrible. I've seen worse and made worse picks than that, and then I know probably Taylor Hall next because I needed a left wing. I think that's pretty good for the 8th round, but my most contentious pick, I think, is Zach Hyman in round 9. That could look like a great or terrible pick depending on how the season pans out.
Well, I think you rounded out your draft really strong to the point where a boomer bust pick like that in round 9 that seems so safe on the boom, is not too big a reach. He's gonna be playing next to McDavid or Draisaitl. I mean, or both. Jesus Christ! Like, I love the boom there. The boom there is so great.
Yeah, That's very true. And, if power play works out in his favor, poof. I saw Yahoo has McDavid predicted, I think, for 52 power play points this year, is their projection
Jeez.
on a usually fairly conservative Yahoo. So we'll see.
So Hayden brings up a good point. We should check out other people's teams too and give a quick up and down.
Sure.
What do you
Yeah, we can
think?
take a look through a couple of teams here. Here, hold on. Give me 1 second. Who brought that up?
Hayden,
All right. Well, why don't we?
do me a favor, share your screen with me in Zoom if at all possible, so I don't have to wait for the 20-second delay on YouTube.
And that messes everything up.
Does it? All right, fuck it then. Yeah,
Hang on.
don't mess
I'm
it up.
gonna share.
I can just go to draft results myself.
There we go. Yeah.
So I'll do that.
So we'll share this guy here. Let's take a look through some of these teams.
All right, so let's start with Grizz. I mean, he woke up at 4 a.m. Geneva time to take this draft and do it like in person.
That a guy.
I want to talk about his team. Panarin, Huberdeau, a solid 1-2. Like there's 100-point potential right there inside your top 2 rounds. Power play points aplenty. Jacob Chikrin, that is a pick I don't feel comfortable with. As the days go on, I feel less comfortable with it. They just traded Dvorak. Arizona's looking pretty fucking haggard. Thomas Chabot, Miro Heiskanen, Rasmus Dahlin. So that's his decor. What do you think? He got all of his D before round 10. Definitely employed 0G to a degree. He took Saros in round 5 and then waited for his other 2.
Yeah. That's a little early on D for me.
I took Jones in the 4th, but I feel better about Jones than I do Chikrin right now.
Yeah, and just to have that many D that early, that's higher than I'd like to go. Panarin Huberdeau is a pretty solid start. Your left wing's probably the best in the league, that's for sure. Goaltending, Blackwood, Merzlikins. You went 3G after getting Saros, right? So
yeah,
that's actually the way. I think that's a good way to do it if you are going to fade goalies all the way to the end. Having 2 guys, like either of those could be actually decent, right? Like it's not the strategy the way I went, but Blackwood could be okay. Merzlikins could be okay. So, that's a fine way to do it. I think Verana's a nice late pick.
Let's go from W now. Or I guess let's stick what's in screen for you. Justin saying here, the guy that was cheating the whole time, taking everybody that I was talking about, listening to the live stream. Bonjour, Justin. I know all about your strategy. Mikko Rantanen in round 1, pick number 7. We're seeing a lot more Rantanen in round 1. I feel good about it. Mika Zibanejad, round 2. Solid 1-2 picks. Landeskog, Theodore, Ekblad. So he went back-to-back D in rounds 3 or 4 and 5. Good strategy because, and I know you were just talking against it, but I like to target D early. I like to have all of my D covered before round 10, the same way Grizz did, because they go quick, like especially in points leagues where there's less relevant defensemen. If we're talking categories leagues, yeah, you can get a Jacob Trouba, you can get a Rasmus Ristolainen. There's a bigger pool of defensemen to pick from. But when you're in a points league, defensemen go quick. Defensemen go really quick. I like to finish my D before round 10, which is why I might have reached on guys like, Tony DeAngelo. But looking at Justin's team, his decor is Torrey Krug, top power play on a St. Louis team. Maybe there's another year built there. Samuel Girard, really safe late pick. Aaron Ekblad, Shea Theodore, great top end. A middling, Gamble and Torrey Krug, and Sam Girard, just like a real safe decor. I like it. Right wing, center, left wing is his top 3 rounds. Get a stud at every position. Good strategy to go with. Tyler Sagan at right wing, Tavo Teravainen at left wing, and Anze Kopitar. So he did go right wing, center, left wing twice in this draft with 2D in between. What do you think? What do you think about his team? First goalie taken round 10, Ilya Samsonov.
Well, on this team, I really, really, really like the first four picks. I think that is a really solid, like you said, one stud at each position, like a true stud at each position. I love that. Um, then I'm not crazy about some of the picks. Just again, the D that early isn't something I like to do, but I do 100% agree. Like when we get to the categories draft tomorrow, then you can fade D big time because when blocks and everything counts for more. That's true. I love his Eichel late, Bertuzzi
Oh
late
man,
could be a good one. Doc late could be a good one. Um, Kopitar and Sagan.
Kopi was
Uh,
super early in round 7.
yeah, I think
I feel
Sagan, Kopitar, those two kind of. I'm a little questionable on that early. And Ekblad, even though he was decent, that's too early for him. I think in my books.
I don't know. I don't mind Ekblad there. When you said you liked his top 4 rounds, I wanted to butt in and say I liked his top 5 because I'm bullish on Ekblad and I'm bearish on Sagan. For anybody that doesn't know stock market stuff, that means I like Ekblad. I don't like Sagan. I'm very iffy on Sagan coming back from a hip surgery. His best years were when Dallas employed a heavy top power play unit. They have been 50-50 going on 3 years now. Sagan is not putting up the same numbers. And in points league, you need those types of numbers. You don't have, shots winning you a week or anything like that. So you need points. Um, the point ceiling is just not there with a 50-50 power play model. Kopitar, I dig it a little early. He's a pretty safe, like 9-10 round kind of guy. So maybe a 2-round reach there. Teravainen, I had him queued up. I was ready to go. I'm pretty sure you stole that one from me since you were listening to the YouTube. Samsonov, great value. Always has been this year. Carey Price, same deal. Great last 5 rounds, too. Ryan Strome in the 12th. Your middle rounds were a little iffy, but I think your top 5 and your bottom 5 were really, really,
Yeah,
really strong.
yeah, exactly. Very, very good ones. Let's scroll up to the top here. Let's check out W.
W, the king of auto draft. I'm sure his team is strong as hell and has a Carolina bias. Let's just count it off the top. 1, 2, 3 Carolina Hurricanes. He is a Carolina Hurricane fan. For anybody wondering, Pasternak round 1, safe bet. Sebastian Aho round 2, safe bet. Svechnikov round 3. I'm feeling better about him as a 3rd-round pick. Still a bunch of question marks there. He has not broken point per game for a full season just yet. This could be the year. I'm fine with it. Maybe in a categories league, I'd give it a little more leeway, especially with some of the picks you took behind him, like Bergeron. I have more confidence in Bergeron hitting point per game and plastering shots and having more points than Svechnikov. So, you got your guy. I get it. And he's a pretty safe bet to be a 3rd-round value at the end of the year. So I feel pretty good about his top, let's see, 6. Jonathan Toews is maybe where I would draw the line. Jonathan Toews round 7 is kind of, that's risky. I mean, you're making a gamble there, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one for me. Even if I knew he was healthy, I wouldn't be taking him there, to be honest, unless it was a face-offs heavy league. So I'd scratch that one, but I do like Nylander. Doughty is a guy that's just, he is what he is. He's good. Doesn't have much threat coming behind him.
I had Doughty and Anderson queued up in those rounds that W took him. So it'd be hard for me to say anything poorly about those 2 picks.
Yeah, and Kubalik, good round, good pick. Carlson, I don't know, not for me.
Could work out, but it's Carlson, so
Yeah, there's no fun
there's
to be
that.
had there.
Oh,
Garland,
we got our first. No, I guess he took Anderson in round 9. I'm trying to find like a true 0G drafter here. I know we're gonna find one.
let's see here. Spurgeon late, Zegras and Nedeljkovic late. That's cool. Zegras is a fun gamble.
Scrolling
Six.
down next to you, Rocker. He's always a strong drafter, especially from an auto draft position. The only pick I think I didn't like was Kaliev. I thought that was a pretty bold move in round 9. Maybe it was an accident. Who knows? But Kucherov, Hellebuck, Carlson, Miller, and then Nurse. Nurse in a Cats league in round 5. That's tremendous value. I don't know if he's going to put up the points, and I don't know if the waiting here for hits and blocks and all that are enough to justify a 5th-round pick for Darnell Nurse. Ryan O'Reilly, I mean, we're going back to tried and true and safe. Evgeny Malkin in round 7. Love Gaudreau in round 8. Tom Wilson in 10. Gallagher is just such a rocker pick, and he got the Boston tandem. He is a Boston fan, so that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, this looks like a rocker team, and rocker drafts really well all the time. So I'm all right with this one.
And you know what?
Kaliev was the only
Yeah,
nick on this one.
OEL in the last round is actually not a bad gamble. I mean, at that point, it's kind of whatever. But Rockers team, we went through my team. Going down, we had Team Beardy and Team
Beardy, baby. It was his idea to look at all these teams. So let's talk about Beardy. I think you were spot on with your 1st-round pick. Matthews to me is a top 5 guy.
Yep.
Considering the first 4 players that went, Kucherov, Draisaitl, McKinnon, and McDavid, you did not screw up your 1st-round pick, and that's a great way to go. Jake Ensel, pretty much a quintessential 2nd-round pick. I think that's great there. Alex DeBrincat, one of the guys I was talking about in round 3. Max Pacioretty. I mean, we're playing it safe here. This is a very safe draft so far. You know what I'm saying? Roman Yossi, Blake Wheeler, and then we start taking our risks in round number 7 with Zach Werenski. And I say that's a risk because I think I might have gotten a defenseman I liked more later. So who is my 7th-round pick? I got D'Angelo in the round 8. Let's look at everybody else's round 7s. But yeah, if you got takes, feel free. I'm going to look at defenseman. I remember there was a defenseman I liked more.
Pietrangelo went in round 7 as well. Guys like Suzuki were going around there. I mean, I don't think Werenski's a terrible pick there. Again, just fitting in with fine. Looking through this whole team, I would say
it was like
fine.
D'Angelo and Doughty were the only guys left.
Yeah,
and Torrey Krug. So.
And definitely, maybe our most 0G team. He didn't get a G until round 12, so he went 12 and 13 with
wound up with Jari and Markstrom.
So
yeah,
solid. Two
really great value there.
2 average-ish teams, like maybe Calgary's a little below average, Pittsburgh's a little above average. Goalies who are going to play and get a reasonable amount of starts. So
yeah, those are 2 bulk. They're bulk starters. So
I would say that if you're going to do 0G, and I think if you have no goalies in the first 10 rounds, I think we can call that a 0G team. Maybe.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think this is the way to do it. Actually, with that strategy, that's a nice pair of goalies that you can end up with, where you're like probably not going to win by your goalies, but you're probably not going to lose either.
The last 2-round picks here, like I love Hischier, Mangiapane, take your swings. That's fine. I don't like this decor. Giordano, that's a gamble. Ryan Pulock, Islanders have never had, at least in recent memory. Yeah, and Raj, you took Morgan Riley in round 7 at pick number 10, 5 picks after Werenski. Beardy just said that in the YouTube chat. So, I definitely like Riley better than Werenski, but I will say to your benefit here, Beardy, Werenski has huge. There's a ton of boom that could be had there because you're bringing in a new coach like Brad Larson, who has guys like Patrick Laine to work with, Oliver Bjorkstrand to work with. They want him to be the anti-Torts. So maybe they go full offense. Maybe they load up a top power play. And who else are you going to put on that top power play but Zach Werenski? So there is potential for this to flip. Like you could wind up being you could wind up Zach Werenski could wind up finishing higher than Morgan Riley, than Drew Doughty. So I'm not like totally trashing that pick. I'm not trying to totally trash that pick. It just feels a little high, and maybe I'm not used to that because there is a huge question mark around Columbus right now. Barzell, great 8th round pick. Love it in a points league. Brian Rust, again, great pick. Giordano, question marks there. Pulak, the Islanders don't have a great, like, there's not a defense core there for points league defenseman. I just don't think it. You backed it up with 2 really great goalies. This is a good team. It's going to be a contender. Joe, a lot of auto drafts here. We had problems with maybe not problems, but he had stuff going on outside of the draft that he had to deal with. So there's a lot of fan tracks going on here. Tyson Berry went 4-1, and I took Seth Jones at 4-10. So I did not miss out on Tyson Berry. So everything went the way it was supposed to. It looks like he started getting auto drafted at round 5. So I don't know if there's a ton of like analysis we can do here. Let's move on to Serif's team, who picked number 2. He took McKinnon over Draisaitl. What do you say there?
I say that my kid Ty just made some chocolate chip cookies and brought me one, and it's awesome. I like Draisaitl number 2. Personally,
McKinnon's is really like,
yeah,
you
but
can't fault anybody for taking
no,
McKinnon.
I don't think you can really fault those two. You could argue even Matthews in there, but that area is really close. I like, yeah. The only thing I think I like more is the just Draisaitl dual eligibility thing, just super rare for a top round player. But yeah, I mean, how are you going to say McKinnon's a bad pick anywhere? I mean, I wouldn't even argue if you took him first overall, to be honest.
So this was a very anti-zero G draft here. We have 4 goalies: Spencer Knight, Jack Campbell, Marc-Andre Fleury in the 5th, Darcy Kemper in the 2nd. He did get Kachuk and Tavares on the close to the turn. Not exactly the turn, but at the 3-4. Actually, it was a pretty widespread. Never mind. But yeah, he got Kachuk in the 3-4, Reinhart in round 6, which seems high. Didn't draft a defenseman until round 7, wound up with Pietrangelo, Klingberg, Provorov, and Taves. So what do you think about fading D?
Well, I have no problem fading D usually. I mean, that's not a bad D core. You're definitely not going to win with that group, but it's not. If you want to look at who we got ahead, I don't know. Fading D and using those picks to get goalies. I don't know. I do have a few questions after McKinnon, to be honest. I think Fleury is a decent pick, but I don't know. He's on Chicago, so Chicago improved a ton in the offseason. Chicago is a whole new team, but still, that's high for me.
Yeah, you have to factor getting Jonathan Taves back into the Chicago fold. Like, yeah, most of what they did was add Seth Jones and Marc-Andre Fleury, but those are 2 huge positions. You added a number 1 defenseman and a number 1 goalie. So, yeah, maybe it's only 2 positions, but this is a wildly different looking Chicago team. So I'm right there with you on that.
Like you're getting your captain back. There's a lot,
Yeah,
and they very very obviously said, okay, Taves is coming back. Here's the last kick at the can for Kane and Taves' crew before they age themselves out. So I don't know. I it's not my strategy. I do like Reinhart. 71 overall. That's
risky for me.
might be a little high. I mean,
bit liberal.
Rupee Hintz went ahead of him. I'd actually prefer Reinhart, so I don't mind that.
Same, yeah. I'm okay with that.
But yeah, I don't know. I like Marchessault, always a good pick. Again,
great value in round 9. Batherson in round 12 was another pretty good one. I think he's probably a safe bet for 55 and some bangs. So
What would have made a huge difference to me is if Kemper was a different pick, right?
yeah.
Keep Fleury,
Yeah, your goalies would
Spencer
still be
Knight,
Fleury,
and
Spencer
Campbell.
Knight, and Campbell.
You'd be
Yeah.
totally fine for goalies and have a second round, 11th, 23rd overall pick. So I would have done that. I mean, I would have grabbed a Braden Point or something right there, or someone in that range, but Kyle Connor even. I don't know. But yeah, that's
T-Cat. T-Cat, strong drafter. Took 2D inside the top 5 rounds, wound up with Hedman and Fox, really strong top D. Didn't draft another D until round 14 with Dumba and Morrissey. So it's a pretty good D core. Faded centers, it looks like, wound up with Trocheck as his first in round 5. Got Marchand and Mark Stone as his first 2 picks. That's not so bad. And Rupi Hintz, like you said, went ahead of Sam Reinhart. So there's a bit of fluctuation there. Suzuki as your second center, right behind Trocheck, Nietzsche, Hughes, Dylan Larkin, Jordan Binnington as what looks to be the first goalie for him. So we have a 0G team here with Binnington and Talbot in rounds 11 and 13. So great, great execution of 0G here, I think.
yeah, I like it. A couple people managed to pull it off. It can definitely be done. I like that. Um, geez, again with some high D picks, which are not something I'm into, but to each their own. Binnington, sure has faded, hey?
Yeah. But there's still volume to be had there. So I love it.
Yeah.
Team Tim had first overall pick. This is what a first overall team is going to look like. Connor McDavid took Robin Leonard at the end of round 2. So kind of a round 3. Like we all have him inside our top 5 goalies.
Mm-hmm.
Back that up with Braden Point, Quinn Hughes, and Nikolai Ehlers. So we are leaving round 5 with actually round 6, 7 with 4 centers and 4 centers only.
Oh.
So I wonder what the strategy was here because we have Couturier, Backstrom, McDavid, and Braden Point outside of, inside of your first half of your draft. So we are loading up on centers here, high end centers. The rest of the team didn't wind up so bad. I mean, the last pick, I wonder what happened here because he took Sean Monahan as his last pick. So we have 5 center only. There is no dual eligibility from what I can see. Maybe it doesn't show it in the screen, but
No, it
Jason
doesn't show it.
Robertson, yeah, Patrick Laine, I think is dual eligible. So there's
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it doesn't show it on this particular screen, but none of those guys are dual. I think that will come back to bite. Like I would be hitting the waiver wire pretty quick to replace Monahan. I think that I mean the other centers are good, but you kind of have too many. To me, the one I would have wished was a winger is definitely Backstrom.
Yeah, me too. I think Backstrom was early.
But overall, I actually
Early,
like
early and,
I like this team.
and
I do.
early and unnecessary because I think, with the amount of centers you already had at round 6, your round 5, Nikolai Ehlers, that was a snipe for me. If you didn't take him, I was going to at 5-3. You took him at 5-1. I'd planned on taking him at 5-3. So this was a snipe there. I like Ehlers there. And then, Couturier, you have 5 centers on this team. So I think there's a little bit of redundancy there. Like you're saying, Backstrom could have been another pick. Let's look at what Ryan Nugent Hopkins was in that. I guess he is a center too, but he has winger eligibility. I just feel, Backstrom might have been, like you said, better suited as somebody else.
Marcia, so maybe.
Yeah, he went like 3, 4, or 5 rounds later. Here we go. Team Yenli, Patrick Kane as a first round pick. Mitchell Marner, strong on the wings, strong at right wing. He went right wing, left wing, left wing. Strong on the wings here. Patrick Kane, Mitch Marner, Kyle Connor, Kirill Kaprizov. Didn't draft a center until round 7, wound up with Ryan Nugent Hopkins. So this is a strong team. I like McAvoy. I like the swing there. Jeff Petrie. Montreal is going to be a team that doesn't have Shea Weber. So I think Petrie's role increases a little bit.
Hmm.
Decor looking a little weak.
For a points league,
McAvoy, Petrie,
definitely.
Ellis, Dunn, and Lindell. Like the drop off there is pretty steep.
Would have been okay if it was a categories league, like a guy like Lindell gets a little bit more value there. Ellis even. A lot of wings. Uh, Man, you know what? I would love to watch that top four play hockey. That is a very exciting top four with Patrick Kane,
Yeah,
Kaprizov,
right.
Kyle Connor, Marner. That is a great team to watch on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, if we're lining it up, that's Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Claude Giroux at center. So pretty solid top six there, right?
Yeah, McAvoy above Petrie. They were really close picks, right? Actually, they weren't. Oh yeah, they were. They were only three picks apart. But I think in this league, I'd probably rather have Petrie.
Not bad. Well, that's curtains, bud.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I had fun on this one. I think it worked. The curtains here. Enjoy your cookies. We have our Cats League draft going tomorrow. I think this went pretty smoothly. This was our first dry run. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We had, a good spread of people in the YouTube watching this one too. So had a lot of fun with it. We're going to have, categories league tomorrow, 5-hole standard. We usually get rid of plus minus, add hits and blocks. I don't know if I think Fantrax has hits standard, but not
Yep.
blocks. And Yahoo has block, not hits. So we don't like plus minus and we like hits and blocks. So both of those will be there. Our goalie categories are win, save percentage. Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to have another episode coming right at you. And if you want to get in touch with us, we are FHF Hockey on Twitter. You guys can join the Fantasy Hockey Discord, get in on some of these mocks. We're going to be doing them every week up until season start. And we've been doing them all season. So we're building an ADP set, just have something local to reference outside of Yahoo and have some fun at the same time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you think. We'll catch you later. We love you guys.
Love you.
Damn, that was a long one, eh?